Welcome back to Talking Dragon Age, the show where I talk about Dragon Age. This episode we're talking about combat mechanics. I've already gone over classes and why they're dumb, but these are more details about the combat specifically. I want to say combat is a chore, but I don't know if it's that bad. I don't want to do it, I'll say that. Specifically in Inquisition, I think the thing that bothers me most is the animation. There's a sequence that's always the same. In Inquisition, I mostly play as a mage, and the mage has the worst animation by far. Look at this. This, right here. Never, ever turn your back to an enemy, unless it's part of a dodge and counter maneuver, or you're trying to run away. If your attack requires you to turn around, it's not a good attack. That's not even mentioning the idle stance, where you have to bring the whole damn staff around you before you attack. No matter what, you always stay behind your weapon. Whether it's a sword, gun, bow, or even a magic staff, you stay behind it. And never leave your back open to someone who's trying to kill you. Not to mention the fact that turning around and back around takes a while. In combat, that small amount of time could mean the difference between life and death. I'm going to start a list here. Non-repetitive animations that never involve turning around to attack. I'd rather generic back and forth animations over nonsensical ones. Like these first three are fine, just repeat those. As for the ability animations, do you see that? Spinning this heavy staff in the air so many times? That's highly improbable and inefficient. Just slam the thing into the ground with no spinning involved. It's not as flashy, but that doesn't mean it can't look cool. Also, what the hell is the point of a staff blade if you aren't going to hit people with it when they get close? It would be cool if that did the same damage as a dagger with an enchantment of whatever element your staff is carrying. But speaking of which, let's talk about damage. I take back what I said earlier. This is the thing that bothers me the most. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Here I am in the Exalted Plains at level 8 fighting an enemy with a decent bow for my level. Do you see this? Are you kidding me? Guys, let me tell you something. I don't care who you are, if you take 3 arrows in the chest, you don't get to be alive anymore. At the very least, you're out of the fight. If the first arrow somehow missed your lungs, sternum, spine, heart, and major arteries, it would still hurt. A lot. I don't know if you've ever been impaled before, but you don't just walk it off. Say you get hit here in the shoulder. Do you think you'll be using that arm again anytime soon? You won't. And yeah, I get it, it's a game, but the way I see it, this is a plot hole. Especially because we see Liliana doing this in the alternate future. These guys know what I'm talking about. Same thing with all the classes. Taking a ball of fire to the face or a sword through the chest, you're done. Now, with Archery, you might be thinking that if the arrows did realistic damage, that would make the game too easy. And you're right, but only because the game uses auto-aim. Here's what the Archery gameplay should be like. I want my rogue to get to a vantage point and have to manually aim to hit the enemies. Also, there are a limited number of arrows. 30 at the most. Now, arrows shouldn't be too hard to come across in the field, but they should be scarce enough to incentivize you to make your shots count. Also, Archery abilities. This arrow storm is complete nonsense, as is this thing where the arrow goes through enemies and somehow does more damage as it goes on. Archery abilities should work like this. You have an additional hip quiver, which carries a limited number of special arrows. One type that lights enemies on fire, maybe one that poisons them, one that knocks them down, etc. So you have 3 arrows of each type there, and a passive ability would let you bump that up to 5. You use your fire arrow ability, and your character draws the arrow from their hip quiver. You do that 5 times without resupplying at a camp or whatever, that's it. Until you get more, you can't use that ability. They did something similar in Mass Effect with grenades. It would work pretty much like that. As for rogues specifically, you know what? I take back what I said before. This is the thing that bothers me the most. Why is stealth a superpower that makes me invisible? The only one this kind of makes sense for is Cole. This should not be a thing. One of my least favorite lines in the whole series is this.
Isabella, I want you to fight from stealth. Keep them confused.
It's like, do you know what stealth is? You should have said, like, Isabella, dance around them, keep them confused, or something like that. I want a legitimate stealth system. Nothing too complicated, because I understand what the game is, but not this. Oh, and let's not forget, why the hell can enemy rogues teleport? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, and how about the fact that they too can be invisible despite being right in front of me? That's going on the list. If this isn't a plot hole, I don't know what is. This brings up another thing. The classes should be more diverse in their gameplay. Still allow any class to pick locks, but the dual-wielding rogues should be more like ninjas. Fast, maneuverable, and precise. Also, please let me use a longsword, like a katana or a rapier. Maybe that would be reserved for duelists, which would be a specialization again. I like that. Gameplay for warriors would be mostly the same as what it is now, although some explanation as to why I can shatter the earth and cause flames to erupt would be appreciated. For mages, I guess similar to what they are now, but with animations that aren't stupid. Maybe your basic attacks require more than just holding a button? Maybe you need to hit the button at the right time to maximize damage? Now, I hate that idea, I'm just spitballing alternatives. Also, more varied spells would be nice. Simple fireballs and lightning are fine, but I would like more advanced spells to be more unique. Like Static Cage and Blizzard. Oh, also, I want to mention this. I love when I get Dorian to cast a leveled up Static Cage at the same time I use Mark of the Rift. Awesome. Now, in my classes video, I touched on the fact that they kept encouraging me to diversify my party. That's partially why I want classes to be more unique and different from each other. I love to play tactically in video games, but not in Dragon Age, because I only have 4 people, and that doesn't even feel worth it most of the time. But, hypothetical example, what if I want 4 mages? 2 to support with mines, walls, and barriers, while the other 2 are dealing out heavy damage, especially when I strategically place them on the battlefield. That can be a lot of fun, but oh no! A locked wooden door? Whatever will we do? Locked doors and breakable walls are ways to artificially encourage party diversity, but you shouldn't. Let people play the way they want to. If using 4 rogues leads to a lot of dying, that's enough to encourage changing things up. You don't need to add nonsense like breakable walls on top of that. Okay, I'm about ready to wrap this up. I want to say that I'm well aware that not everyone would like this, and I don't actually expect any drastic changes like what I describe. Like, the next game just takes away the nonsense stuff and revises mechanics like stealth. Maybe tweak some things like damage and spells. Again, nothing too drastic like what I described, except the manual aiming and archery abilities. That I'm holding out for. Oh, and my katana-wielding rogue. I wonder how many angry comments I'm going to get on this. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, Tala Nadas.